I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. And we've got a couple of tragedies to talk about tonight. Let's start with Madeline Soto from down in Central Florida. There she is. She went missing on the 26th, just 13 years old. Her mother's boyfriend or husband, it's not super clear at this moment, is the one who was taking her to school on the day that she disappeared. His name is Stephan Sterns. He was arrested last Thursday. There he is. But not arrested for murder. He was arrested because of what investigators found on his cell phone. Now, some of what we're going to put up on the screen is graphic in nature, not images, but just words describing what was on that phone. I'll read part of it for you. On his phone, during the interview with Stephan, he provided consent to search his phone. However, he stated that he accidentally performed a factory reset on his phone on February 26, 2024, which is, of course, the same day that Madeline went missing. Upon reviewing the contents of Stephan's phone, several images and videos were located which depicted, they don't give the name, private parts of someone, very graphic videos of a graphic assault. And then the conclusion of all that is, based on the totality of the circumstances, Eurofine has probable cause to believe Stephan committed a sexual battery. Seems like he recorded it. Freak. Recorded it. They were able to get it despite the fact that he accidentally performed a factory reset on the day that Madeline went missing. But investigators still able to track this stuff on his phone. Now, before he was arrested, Stephan Sterns agreed to an interview the night after Madeline disappeared, which is also the day before he was arrested. Courtesy of WFTV in Orlando, we have that video.
I dropped her off. Everything looked fine when I drove away. It's the last time we saw her.
What were the conversations that y'all had in the car when you dropped her off?
Not much. She was asleep for most of the way. Told her have a good day at school when she got out, and I love her. She said, thanks, love you too. That was it.
And so where do you think she could possibly be? I mean, this isn't, as I was told, this isn't normal behavior.
This is not normal behavior. She's not the type that would just run off. We don't know where she can be, and we're scared. We just want her home.
Are you, in a sense, blaming yourself?
It's hard not to. It just keeps coming in waves. Just the reality keeps hitting. And we don't know where she is. We don't know if she's safe. We're just scared. We just want her home. Conflicting reports here and there. People say they see this or that. None of it's conclusive and none of it's helpful. We just want our baby girl back.
All right, I'm not Janine Driver, but we'll get her on this case, don't worry. But doesn't even look at the reporter's eyes when he's saying anything. Doesn't he? Like the reporter's right there, right? And then time to answer the question. Come on, come on. Okay, let's take a look at Stephan Sterns' alleged route that he took on February 26th. Remember, he's dropping Madeline off at school. So let's take a look. You've got the city of Kissimmee down in Florida. You know where it is, just south of Orlando. All the attractions, Disney, all of that. I'll show you. This is approximately now where their apartment is located. And it's from there that Sterns agreed to pick up Madeline and bring her to school. Now, he doesn't take her all the way to school. Let me show you where He claims he dropped off Madeline. It's the Peace United Methodist Preschool. It's about 5 miles from the apartment, where you can see right there. But he claims that she was embarrassed about being dropped off at her middle school and asked to be dropped off there. And he says that he did it at about 8:40 in the morning. So let me show you where her school is now, the middle school. It's Hunters Creek Middle School. It's about a 0.4-mile walk from where he dropped her off. And class was set to begin at 9:30, which would give her time to get there, obviously, but she never showed up. So she doesn't want you to be, she doesn't want to see me getting dropped off, so you drop her off half a mile away, right? Now, investigators obviously took a close look at everything that they could. They worked quickly in this case. And let me show you what investigators believe happened that morning, as opposed to what Stephan Sterns said happened that morning. We begin again in Kissimmee, Florida. We'll show you where that apartment is once again. Now, what the video evidence showed was that Sterns was there at 7:35 a.m. He appeared to be discarding items into the complex's dumpster, okay? Investigators later found in that dumpster the backpack and laptop belonging to Madeline. Remember, this is 7:35 a.m. Then he leaves that complex. Authorities haven't released any information about where Sterns went next, but at some point he returns to the apartment complex and is spotted there at 8:19 a.m. Video surveillance captures Madeline inside the vehicle at 8:19 when he returns, and sadly, authorities believe she was already dead at that point. There's the apartment complex. Now let me show you where Madeline was found. Madeline was discovered in a wooded area off of Hickory Tree Road, 17 miles away from the apartment. I believe it's in St. Cloud. It's about a 37-minute drive without traffic to get from Kissimmee to St. Cloud, where Madeline's remains were discovered. Now, he was supposed to appear for his initial appearance on Saturday. His attorney showed up, but he didn't. Take a look.
Stephan Sterns, or Stephan?
Your Honor, at this time, I am going to waive Mr. Sterns' appearance. I'm also going to waive the reading of these charges. Mr. Sterns is aware of what he's been arrested for.
Understood, sir. You got 0 bond and 24 CF 632. Good luck to you. And there's also, is that 2 different cases?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Judge.
Oh, yes. The second case is 24 CF 643, also 0 bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Gianni, do you want no contact with family members, anyone?
Yes. If there isn't already a no contact provision on those warrants, I will include it.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Now, the person in orange that you saw in the video, that's not him. I know he had a beard, but that's not him. That's another suspect on another case, unrelated to any of this. But he waived his appearance, didn't show up. The attorney made the appearance on his behalf. So as we sit here tonight, he's been charged for what was on his phone, but has not been charged with the murder of Madeline Soto. When will that happen? Let's bring in our think tank. Joining us tonight from Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor Al Wunsch III. Also with us in Stamford, Connecticut, criminal defense attorney. No. There he is, Darnell Crossland. You see, Jennifer wants a little more airtime tonight, and joining us in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, family law attorney Jennifer Brandt. Great to see everyone tonight. Thanks for being. Oh, I see what happened. They switched you guys around. Darnell's usually over here, and Jennifer's usually over there. And Al, I think he's sneaking up on you.
I'm like frightened now. He's looking under my dress.
Yeah, all right, it's very, very dangerous positioning. Okay, Al, a lot of people are saying, wait a minute, like you have video, you believe that she's dead in his car. Why isn't he charged with murder yet?
Well, because you want to make sure you have all your ducks in a row. I mean, you want to make open and shut a solid case. I have no problem with that. He's in jail. He's not getting out. So they have plenty of time to put this together and put it together the right way. And in this way here, when he is charged, it'll be a slam bam, and he'll be put away forever.
Darnell, what did you think of his TV appearance before he got arrested, before they took a look at his cell phone, and before Madeline was found? He seemed very emotional.
Well, a couple of things. With the TV appearance, I saw no water, no tears. He just wiped his eyes. He had the tissue already ready to go, and he wiped his eyes, and he kept looking down. So that didn't come across, to be honest, at all. But in terms of just the arrest, they have what they call on-site arrest, and they have warrant arrest. So on-site arrest is they catch you doing it right there on the scene. In this particular case, they have to put together an ironclad warrant for a judge to sign, and they have to swear to it. So that's why they normally grab you on whatever charge they can get you on while they bill the affidavit for the larger charge. That's why he wasn't charged for the larger crime yet.
Jennifer Brand, I think this may end up being a case that is potentially eligible for the death penalty. In hearing the description of what he's been locked up for so far, they have, they blot out the name, but it seems like it's potentially plausible in all of this that Madeline was brutally sexually assaulted before she was murdered, and that may end up being the charges in this case, which clearly takes this guy from and puts him in that column of worst of the worst.
Absolutely, Vinny. I mean, this guy is just terrible, and what was described in that affidavit was just so disturbing. But watching him on that video, if we didn't know what we know now, I mean, I think he put on a pretty good performance. If I didn't know all of this, I might have believed him. I mean, he seemed like he was upset. We've seen people speak out before, and one of them missing. So,
We're having a little trouble, Jennifer. We're having a little trouble with your audio. The audio's breaking up a little bit. And as I say that, Al and Darnell are licking their chops for extra airtime tonight. That's what they're doing. But let me, Al.
Yeah.
What is this case ultimately going to be about? Do we seek the death penalty? Do we not seek the death penalty? Is this guy the worst of the worst? If in fact he gets charged for the murder and the victim in this alleged sexual assault is also Madeline?
There's no doubt that in Florida they'll be seeking the death penalty on this case. It is egregious enough. It is horrific enough, and catching him with that stuff on his phone and him trying to destroy evidence is not going to make it any easier for him to stay away from that kind of a situation. So I mean, they're clearly looking for that, and I don't think he came across well. I don't think anyone ever comes across well on those, statements before the press. It always looks forced. It always looks phony. I would say I pray people to avoid that. I don't think it ever comes.
Do you see what he's doing,
well.
Darnell? You see what he's doing? He's trying to, keep people off the air. Like we want, and here's the thing, right? If your child is missing, or it's not his child, but it's his girlfriend or his wife's, I don't know their situation, but it's obviously someone who's in his sphere. Like if you don't come out and speak and plead with the public for help in finding that child, to me that is horrific. Like who wouldn't come out and plead? She's a missing 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, so what Al is going through is Al's going through defense attorney syndrome. So he's saying that it's not advisable to have your guilty client give interviews. But if you're not suffering
but
from
no,
defense,
you almost sounded like he was saying even if you're innocent, Al. I don't want to misspeak for you, but Al, are you saying that even people who are factually innocent and come out and speak it's going to be so awkward that they're going to look like they're not telling the truth in pleading for the return of their child.
I really do believe that the media takes advantage of people at their weakest point, and it generates a situation where they put them up there and they force them to make these pleas and things along those lines, and it's like, oh, talk to the assailant, talk to this, talk to that. I don't think that's right. I think that's horrible. You're going through a horrific time. There's no doubt that
But this is a missing
back.
child. You have a missing child, Al. And Darnell, feel free to chime in here if you want to pile on Al tonight with me. You have a missing child. You want to keep your child's image. You want to keep the story in the news because you want your child found. So if you're innocent, there's no reason not to speak, Darnell.
But
yeah, 100%. We know Al is bashing the media. But we know that all civil rights and other advocates, legal advocates, say that you have to work with the law and you work with the media. You have to let the public know what's going on. The public will help you, assist you in finding your loved one if they're missing. And there's been successful cases of that. So you just have to let the people know. So Al is worrying about, don't let them know, it's going to look awkward and you're going to look maybe guilty, et cetera. But there's a human part of this, and you have to tell the story.
And I think we have Jennifer Brandt back. Jennifer?
Yes, I'm back.
The debate right now has turned to, you always look guilty when you get in front of a camera and you're in a very traumatic situation, whatever it is, like a missing child. What I'm saying is, if you're innocent and your child is missing, you need to plant yourself on television with your family or a representative as much as possible to keep that story in the news, to let the public be aware, to help you find that child.
100%, Vinny. I mean, if you want your child to be found, you've got to get out there. You've got to talk about it. You've got to get other people involved. You've got to get the media out there. So I think it is important. And, you know, I do disagree. I don't think that people in front of the camera necessarily look like they're guilty. I think a lot of people look genuine. You know, they really are trying to search for their child. And, you know, getting back to this guy, I mean, he's the worst of the worst. But yet, you know, he's out there. The mother's out there acting like they really care. For the mother's part, I think she does. For him, you know, you just never know. That's the thing. And to find out that he had all of this on his phone and what he did, it's horrific that there are people out there who are like that. Well,